Was they smooth?
Okay with the
Yes,
concrete, not
yes.
the brick?
Yeah. I think the concrete's a lot cheaper too.
Yeah. Like I said,
Yeah.
No, 1,000 really.
Yeah, yeah.
So on that, are we leaning towards the just doing the concrete?
Yeah.
Is that kind of what you're thinking, Charlie?
Yeah.
You talking to me?
Oh, you had your hand up.
I have a question. Have you made a decision of what this bison is gonna look like color wise, or is it gonna be white?
No, it's not gonna be white. The original bicentennial committee had, voted on it being a natural bison.
Okay.
With the county flag painted on each side of it. So that's still the plan to move forward. Sorry, I should have mentioned that. It's been a while, so.
Okay, well, thank you.
Sorry,
And
Charlie.
flags going back on the rump, right? They are doing the
Well,
whole
actually, probably like more like up to the main almost, like, we
Okay.
looked at some of the other bisons that were painted with the flag. Originally, we were kind of just gonna put it on the
side,
rump.
right?
But it looks like it would look better if it was spread out a little bit.
Okay.
more, So, today they took some measurements of it, and it looks like it's gonna look good if it's about yay big. I guess about 2 feet wide.
So the Annex 2 curb, we don't know what the price is gonna be on that because we may split it. Is that right?
The annex, the curb for the annex two is in the back. It kind of all curved up and stuff. We're gonna just make it straight so there's more parking back.
It wasn't that the one that was a discussion that the city might?
50/50 or.
Yeah.
whatever.
No, that's the side.
Okay, that's the sidewalk. Okay,
The curb, since it's in the back, I don't think they would do the 50/50.
okay.
Well, if you do the renovation on the old jail part over there, there will be a sidewalk go clear out to the alley back there. That's for another parking spot there to get rid of that curbside. It's just not straight, it's all.
And there again, we can hold off on that until we see. Make sure the renovation's gonna go through and everything. You guys wanna do that? That would be $14,000.
You're back to the Annex 2 curb.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, well, from it and the bison bed. I'll make a motion, we go with, Hereford concrete. Excluding the bison pad and annex curb now.
Okay, Donnie, I couldn't hear you. To go with what?
Mike Hereford concrete,
Hereford?
Hereford, HUR,
And excluding what? The bison
the
pad?
bison pad for right now, just so we can see the. And the annex two curb in the back.
Thank you.
And you're saying that the sidewalk, the memorial sidewalk, might be a 50/50.
No, that's the memorial sidewalk's the one over on this curve, or
Okay,
it's the oldest one over there.
okay.
When they poured it, they put a ramp, but they
Mhm.
kept the ramp 6 inches off sidewalk. So we're gonna tear it out and put where they can't get up there with the wheelchair.
Make it ADA accessible.
Well, we've kind of bounced around here a few times.
Yeah, sorry, that's all right.
So which one are we talking about might be 50/50 with the city?
The side, it's not even on there. It's
Okay.
the sidewalk in
Okay.
front of them.
All right, so the
Sorry.
memorial sidewalk's not that. We were kind of going down the
Right,
list
right,
and got to
yep,
that. Okay,
Yep,
okay.
yeah, I guess it was. Guess we're gonna have to add this up. We're not gonna go with the brick, we're gonna go with the Ford
Mm-hmm.
on the ADA on there. Got that right?
The bison and annex two.
And we're not doing the brick, we're doing the
Yeah,
Ford.
yeah, concrete.
You adding it down?
Yeah. That's 14,950, am I reading that right, on the steps and stuff,
I think it's,
or 4,050?
I think it's 4,050.
Yeah, 4,000. I give somebody too many copies. Don't have one.
I'm coming up with 12,590. See if you got the same.
$12,590 for what you're gonna do now.
Yeah. So you got done.
No, finish it. We'll just go with 50 more customers,
Mhm.
that price. You hear the price, Michael?
12,590.
Yeah. Now that has to probably go to the council, don't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we got to say where we want it out.
Mhm. Wonder if we could sketch together a little bit better description for the council, so they kind of have a better understanding of where some of this is.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Rewrite.
Yeah, that's all Harper's writing. That's his bid. So, you know, Harper.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe rewrite it. Take
Yeah, I
it
do that.
together, so we still got his original.
Then I'll just I'll eliminate the ones that you don't want.
for now.
On
yeah.
your,
Now.
on your copy.
Yeah,
Now,
I mean, the ones we presented to the
Yeah.
council.
well, even the ones that go to council. Show them the one Mike sent in and then show them the one
Okay.
that we agreed on.
Yeah.
Where we're gonna take it.
I just want to make sure that they know exactly
Yeah,
what we're
absolutely.
approving here, because this doesn't really give a lot of description as to what we're talking
Right.
about.
Yeah,
So-
the more details, the better.
Yeah.
It's better all.
So we had a motion, second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
Probably.
Okay, the next thing is the auction. I have spoke with, all different, counties around Indiana here, Hamilton County. I can't even name all of them. They highly recommend, gov deals for the auction. They've had no problems with, money wise, checks being back, they're looking to get them all back in 5 days. One thing is with gov deals, you can put one piece on there of equipment or anything, anytime you want. Or you can put 8. You can do it yourself, you don't have to get a hold of them, then they see your checks. That'd probably be a good thing that, you know, if you got a couple cars, instead of storing everything all winter, you know, stuff like that, is all. And like I said, they do pay, the bidders charges them 12.5%. We get the total amount of what it brings in the auction,
They don't charge us nothing.
don't charge us nothing.
Yeah, and I did talk to Marshall County. They had used them a time or two and no issues at all.
I think it's a good way to go with this.
The only difference is right now it's gonna put more on Bean Randall,
Mm.
because there's a lot more. And I don't know for sure if they come after the auction and distribute it out, we might have to do that.
So will that mean we'll have to come up with the descriptions and pictures?
No, they will set that all up, and
Okay.
even if they got another person come to pick up that piece of equipment they bought, they have to have a signed agreement with the owner that did buy it to get that piece of equipment.
Okay,
So you're saying you might have to sit out there when they come.
When it's over and they come and get their equipment or whatever they bought.
Mhm.
Maybe Rachel could even come up with one guy or something if it's not a bad day or a busy day.
They're only gonna have 2 places, the warehouse and highway.
Okay.
Garages, or the highway, or the sheriff's department's already out there at the highway.
So we got a complete list now.
Yes, you should have it in front of you. First one is the highway department. The second one is the warehouse, the third one is the sheriff's department.
Did you go through the warehouse stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
There is a couple pieces of sheriff equipment in there, which is a mower,
Uh-huh.
and like, they think they bought a tray heater. And a, I don't know what the other thing is.
Pressure cooker.
Rick, somebody said pressure cooker.
It was an industrial pressure cooker, and then the other
Yes.
one was a food warming cabinet that they bought when the building was built. That just doesn't work, so it's, the cabinet works, but it didn't work for whatever the purpose is, so they.
And this pressure cooker is brand new.
Yeah, so it's the warming,
Never been
we
used.
never used the warming cabinet
How
either.
big's
so-
that?
It's a big one.
I don't know, it's an industrial one, and I didn't even know it
I know,
existed.
Sorry.
Auction's coming.
These cars that on it, there's a junk.
The one, the three of them out the highway from the sheriff are different than junk.
Okay.
Yeah.
One's got the whole front end out of it and all the dashes and everything's good. Motor-wise, I don't know nothing about no trainings in them. But yeah, to me, they're not junk.
Yeah, and Rachel and I went over this highway list several times, and that's why she added a few more things. So I'm good with everything on here. So we want to make a motion to move forward with gov deals?
I think so.
Yep.
And they even really gets this.
Yeah.
The other 5, we're not waiting, we'll just use them again if it
Right.
goes out for this time.
Right. All right, so motion to move forward with the county auction with gov deals. And Rick putting the rest of this together.
One second.
We have a motion and a second, all those in favor, aye.
I,
And one more.
We got, three more things, actually. Mike, talked about some handrails. We'll see about getting quotes for some Randall and I doing the handrails if we can find somebody to get the materials.
I was just sitting there thinking, check with Whitcraft.
If I can get, that size metal bent for the handrails.
Handrails for where?
For the sidewalk up on the hill.
Oh.
Yeah, on the west side over there.
And Charlie mentioned one down the new steps, at least one or two, whatever.
Yeah,
Down to new steps?
yeah, when those get done over here on the.
Oh, no, those are already in there.
yeah,
They're already in
That's
there.
what Charlie said.
I didn't see it though.
They should be in there.
it's not listed, but you did mention last time you were here
Yeah.
that it included.
Yeah,
a
you
road.
got it. I had to have handrails in there. I know
Okay.
they got it.
Alright.
So
So,
you might not have to worry about that. one.
no, we shouldn't have to worry about that one. That should already have handrails. They will be the same as the ones we got up front. I didn't want to do something that didn't match.
Right.
Okay, the other thing, gutters. Mike has mentioned about gutters. I got one bid in already. Waiting on some more for gutters for Annex 1 building. They're starting to rust and I plan on doing them all with aluminum and with a guard, keeps all the trash out.
Mhm.
That would definitely help them rutting.
Yeah.
And do them seamless.
Yeah, will be seamless.
There is a couple local guys who contacted them.
If they're on the website, yes. If they're on the internet. Okay, one more thing, that's there's a tree over right out here by the courthouse that is, seem to be getting worse and worse, as I worked there, leaning towards the electrical, and it's got a big split in it. So, like, for you guys to take a look at it, Don and I walked out there this afternoon, and to me, it needs to come down before it does fall down.
The electrical are coming out of ground.
Yeah,
Well, this sounds more like an emergency type
Yeah,
situation.
yeah.
I would like to see it replaced with some.
yeah, I
Other
agree,
nice
replace with
trees.
something, but back a little further.
Right, and I'm fine with
Wires.
that. I think we need. to-
Only thing I would want is what kind of tree you want.
Well, first, do we have funds to just have the tree taken down since this is kind of sounds like an emergency type
Right.
situation? If we approve it, can we just move forward?
I think so. Mike Lean, is there any money in there for the commissioner where we don't have to get it approved? We can get going on the,
I don't know where it would be.
you, Dave?
Well,
I don't see no other council.
another possibility would be if you've got enough in your maintenance budget for now to cover it and then pay it back.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I got enough of mine for now.
And then.
Let's do that, yeah.
There you go.
We don't have cube cap anymore. That's what I used to use.
Right.
I mean, when I was approved for it.
Right.
Okay,
Right,
yeah, I
that's
use
happened.
mine for now.
It has to go
Sure, it
before
ain't
the
cost that
council.
much.
Yeah,
for a
it's
tree.
just gotta go through the
Let's do
council,
that.
but
The thing is, on
Like
that,
Mike said, we can get cut down before they.
Yeah,
need
Well,
if he
I
do
think
the
it's,
budget.
if it's a safety thing,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
can't
you
wait.
can go look, it's
Yeah.
up on the backside where it's linked.
Can you at least
Don,
get
can I
a
say,
couple
or
quotes?
Charlie, can I say something?
yeah,
The
yeah, I try to get a
council-
couple,
Okay.
but
The
I know the
council
cheapest
said
one I've
they
been
weren't
using
gonna approve
quite since I've
anything
been here,
to them after the
so. But I've
So,
already
and
got
there's
two
only
quotes,
one
but
council
Yeah,
member.
the thing is
get
about
two.
my
Yeah,
budget
better
is,
not rely on me on it
a
either.
lot of my budget's for building maintenance,
What was that
you
again?
know, not really.
They said they weren't
landscape to
to
a
approve
yard.
anything that they didn't know about a month ahead of time. They weren't gonna
This is
approve it
an
for the.
emergency, I think it's something. we
Well,
should
yeah.
do, and we're using Rick's funds.
Okay, yeah, but then they're gonna have to go before the council to replace his funds. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Well, if there was more from the council here tonight, we could get some more input, but
Yeah,
Dave's suggestion here to, you know,
You-
take it out of his funds right now and then.
You may want to say it was your idea.
I'll make that motion that we take it out of Rick's funds so he can get moving with it.
Okay,
Just saying.
my fund does not have like landscaping, trees, it mainly got building maintenance.
That, yeah.
Okay, you can take a tree out of building maintenance on my funds without me getting in trouble.
I think in an emergency situation, you
Okay,
it
that's fine,
actually
as long as I ain't
oversteps
doing
several
something.
things.
What are you supposed to do, you know?
Well, Justin, you're nodding yes, but I think there is some exceptions for an emergency
You're fine.
situation.
It's your, I mean, 'cause I'm not sure what your guys' designating spending threshold is for a department head, but you're talking about less than $5,000 to take down the tree, you think?
Oh, yeah.
I think you're probably
Yeah.
under
Two of
limits
most,
set
yeah.
for.
I just didn't want to take out one of my maintenance funds and,
right,
you know, so.
so I made that motion.
Second,
We have a motion and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
That, for me,
Maybe ask around about the tree, what kind of tree to put back. But I think-
I'll ask around and do what I find out.
Indiana's tree.
Yeah.
Indiana Street.
Indiana State Tree, yeah.
Be like the other one go, they're coming, the other ones come from a star, moon.
American chestnut would be nice too, because they all died during the life, they're trying to put them back in the area.
Well, that one tree went to the moon and back.
Yeah,
There.
yeah, that's a sycamore, yeah.
Mandy?
The only problem with chestnut is when Josh chestnut with mower.
Yeah, I don't like those trees out there, they drop everything, all of it.
It's a nice little tree, so.
Yeah, the quince are too flowery.
You guys got my email?
I did.
My quotes.
Yeah.
Okay. So my came up last Friday, was it?
I think so.
And we kind of discussed maybe just splitting that area in half. Up until last year, that was a shared area. We got our own printer and that's when it all of a sudden became not a shared area. But up until then, even the previous recorders, that was a shared area. So even if we can do half of that area, I can fit 11 shelves there. Which is
Just
$154.
Move that wall and put your shelves right there.
That's what I'm saying. Move it halfway through, like to where that
And put
opening
it-
is.
Just split the difference.
Yes, yeah,
That half wall or whatever, look, is that what you're
yeah,
talking
just
about?
move it to the other side, so then I can put my shelves in that
Split
like
that.
alcove,
Split that area there.
right? State Board of Accounts did give us an opinion. Justin, did you get my email as well?
I was just looking for it, I don't think so.
I don't remember who I sent it to. I'm
A
sorry.
records request, that was not what you're talking about.
No. Here's
That's okay. No worries.
State Board of Accounts opinion. If this county wanted to designate the actual construction, a records is like, but I don't know. Rick said it would, his quote was like, I think $500 or something. So I don't know if that's something we can,
Instead of the shelves, you mean? what?
no, for the actual construction.
Okay.
I don't think I can use my perpetuation fund. I mean, if Justin says it's okay, I'm fine with it. There's money in there. But they did give me an opinion on it, and so.
Well, yeah, they're basically what this is what they always say is talk to local council.
Right. No blame Joe.
Okay, Mr. Local Council.
Yeah, they did that way back when too.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're talking about perpetuation of records, I mean, that's a fairly broad term, you know. I mean, we're talking about the wall, right, Mandy? I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah, the actual construction, like moving the wall, because Brick is gonna do it, so it would just be the materials, basically. And so, I mean, we would just have to put some kind of note in there with the claim stating,
I mean, because the wall it is going to, at least in my mind, it's gonna provide a more secure location for your records.
well, yeah, well, I'm outgrowing my area.
Yeah,
So it's gonna provide us more area.
I mean, even looking at it narrowly, I think it probably fits within the
Okay.
perpetuation of county records.
Okay,
So you need an ordinance then, kind of like we've done in the past for.
no, we just will have to put a note
It
in
needs to
there.
have something from him saying that he,
Yeah, that, sorry, Justin, more work. Just stating that we kind of came to the conclusion that it was for,
Well, yeah, I think, I mean, again, just for perpetuation of records, I mean, most of what your office does is for that purpose.
yes.
So. I think it's a pretty safe bet, not bet, but a safe. Summary to reach, yeah.
Larry,
I would like to clarify too on that. The area that she's referring to was not necessarily a shared area. The copier was a shared device that happened to be in that area that they would come back and use. Which then at her discretion, she decided to not continue the contract with that copier and decided to get their own new copier for her side of the office.
I'm not,
Right with Mary.
I don't want to interrupt you, nothing, Mary, but I don't know that we're even for sure how we're gonna do this yet.
Yeah.
I don't
I
think it's
just-
gonna be
I
set in
wanted to
stone.
clarify that though,
Right,
because I think that's important.
right.
I think this discussion is probably gonna be ongoing. This isn't a decision that'll be made today.
Right.
So I would make a motion to table this
I'll
for
second,
more consideration.
I'll second.
motion,
More room or something, move file cabinets or something.
we had a motion and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
May I at least ask, how long we're just gonna keep tabling this? Cause I already have books stacking up.
Well, I
They're
know
not
there's
in
discussion
doubt.
from several different angles here, so I hate to make a decision one way without looking at all the
How
options.
long it's gonna take us?
It could take 2 months for us to come
Right.
up with a conclusion here. We may have to get quotes for other ideas.
Right, builders. You mind telling me how much it costs to do one?
My books,
Redo.
anywhere from $3,000 to $7,000 a piece,
Piece,
was
that approved by any commissioner?
It's, out of my perpetuation fund.
But was it approved for
It doesn't need to be. It's a non-appropriated fund.
everybody knows you're putting your name on it and everything?
That's how it goes, yeah.
That's all I got.
Those books are semi-fire resistant or water
Yes.
resistant.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen them. They're nice books.
Yeah, they look real good.
Yeah, they're good.
How many we gonna do?
I will be doing 10 more, here before the end of the year. As soon as I have,
A plan.
and it does take 3 months to get them back. Or 2 months, depends.
On these, bills, how long does that take to get them?
Sorry, Charlie, but that is one question I did not ask him.
Okay,
Usually they're pretty, quick on that kind of thing.
Okay.
They have it in a warehouse. So, couple weeks.
No, for the wall, we wouldn't have to get council approval, but for the shelves, we probably would, wouldn't we?
No, because those are perpetuating
Yeah.
as well.
Okay, so that'll roll.
Yeah, I'll be paying for it completely
Mhm.
out of my funds.
Well, I'm still in favor of the motion to table.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
And, Kelly,
Right, I'm back. So I did email you guys the letter I got from Baker Tilly. From Baker Tilly. That's what you emailed me back after I asked him to make it more specific. I also got a quote from Green LLP out of Chicago, Illinois. Generic. Is that in fact?
That's just for our Kelly.
That's all he said, per hour. So if we need anything else, let me know. And then I got one from, Pro in South Bend. This is for everyone, this is 3 different companies to come in and reconcile. But that one said, the Green LLP in Chicago is $200 per hour. He said 50 hours would be sufficient, that's what he said on the phone. I don't know, he didn't. So Baker Tilly was 50 hours, not to exceed 16.5. That's the bill rate of a manager. If staff can be used, the bill rate would be lower. If the manager can use lower staff. It would not exceed 16.5. Pro is 50 hours, you put 11,450 to 12,475, not to exceed the 12,475. Unless it is discussed first. The gentleman I talked to, he actually gave me his name, his cell phone number, if you guys want it, if you have questions, his name's Tim Berry, I had a Zoom meeting with him. And, Mark. They both work for Pro. Tim was an Allen County treasurer. And he was on a state board auditor. They know. Their meeting was very good. So that's the
You're referring to Pro was very good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's kind of the middle ground too. So,
And your scope of this is to go back 2 years?
yes, they will start in April of 23. And if we have to go back farther than that, they will. To get me completely caught up, this is Pro and Baker Tilly. To get me completely caught up, and also, Pro will make sure I'm trained, all paperwork is turned into state board of accounts, DGLF. And everything is caught up and good. Done. And they will train me to make sure I keep up with it. This has been, digging back, this has been a problem with not reconciling. It's just got out of hand last year and a half.
Recommend farther than 2 years, what would you?
I wouldn't have the experience with a treasurer to know if we should go beyond that.
I did mention to them,
Do the 2 years and feel like we need to go farther,
yeah,
or ask them even.
he did say that.
So really, some of these funds, let's just say 12,475,
Mhm.
you could consider some of that expense as training expense. Because you said they're gonna help train you. to
Right, it
move
is,
forward.
I did mark it on their paperwork. So it was to work with the county treasurer to obtain access to financial system and current processes necessary to understand the bank reconciliation needs. Work with the county bank and financial system provider to look for automated opportunities to complete the bank reconcile process. Prepare monthly bank reconciling reports for the county treasurer to review, approve, and upload to Gateway. Create and document processes for bank reconciliation and train county treasurer
so that the treasurer can maintain the bank reconciliation once the backlog is complete. So yes, a little bit of that will be.
Mhm. Isn't there a, Carly, you can correct me on this, isn't there some training funds?
My understanding, training funds are for like state called.
Just state called?
Mhm. Right,
Well, meetings, it's not for something like this.
right.
The training fund is like for us to go to state called meetings or like when SRI calls a meeting to bring the tax sale up to date and teach you all the new laws, or when allow.
Actually, I
The
paid for
same
the,
thing.
I paid for SRI out of my own. I did not use the fund.
And there's only 5 offices that can use that training fund, and that's the treasurer, the auditor, the clerk, the recorder, and the surveyor. Those are the only ones who can even use it.
And this is to get all your books
Yes.
caught up and everything.
Yes.
Treasured all.
Carly, we got a hand up.
Mandy.
So the elected officials training fund is not for state called meetings. It is for training, but right now we only have about $700 in there. Because it got depleted.
So state called meetings coming out of general?
Yeah, it comes out on appropriation. necessary.
Okay, gotcha.
So technically it could be used for that, but we only have $700 in there.
Yeah, wouldn't put much of a dent in that.
No.
That's why you guys approved for some training to come out of economic development last year. Because the other one was depleted.
And can I add another statement? Once a month, because my office is the only office that provides that money for training. We're only putting about $200 a month in there. Because it's $1 per document is what goes in there.
So can you step me through your office?
If I was to sit down
Mhm.
and reconcile, I'd have to do it every day for the next 3 months, 7 hours a day. I would not be able to do anything else in the office. My deputy can't be made to do everything. My take on it is when the State Board of Accounts audit came out last year, this should have been taken care of. You guys could have took it out of her bond to pay for it. It wasn't. So now it's my problem, our problem.
Well, the council would have to approve this as well, right?
Right. Mhm.
We only have one council member here. Any thoughts?
You recommend something like this being done, Dave?
Well, at some point, it's gotta get caught up. I mean, the previous treasurer offered to come in and do it and help for free.
Right? And I brought that up.
Okay, I just, I mean, because this is kind of a commissioner's decision too, just because it's a management thing. You know, kind of what all we'd be doing is just helping you fund it, but you decide how that would happen. As far as the funding goes. That's a great question on this one. I liked your idea about the training.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's
Yeah.
kind of depleted.
Yeah.
So you brought someone in part-time. Is there anybody you could bring in part-time that could do the job?
I do have a part-timer that comes
I
in.
understand, but I know. Not to take away from your part-time, is what I'm asking you.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if there's someone that could come in and just, that's all they would do.
That's what I'm asking.
I mean, I'd rather
Well,
have
I'm
a
sure that's
local
gonna be-
company come in, take care of it
Right.
and
And that's
watch
what I'm
it.
asking. There's nobody out there that you would know that the county could hire as part-time to get this caught up.
Not off the top of my head, no.
That's what we was told tonight, that there are people out there that could do it. Old auditors and stuff.
I talked to one gal,
Yeah.
that is a retired treasurer. But she's working part-time for another treasurer that's trying to help right now and wouldn't even be available until fall, which that's really kicking the
That's-
can down
yeah.
the road.
Yeah.
Taxes are out, taxes, taxes are gonna get printed at the beginning of next month. This needs taken care of.
How long is it gonna take them if we?
They said 50 hours.
I mean, are they
And
bringing
they'd
a
be
crew?
complete?
Yeah, they will come in, they will go, I have to give them access with WOW, which is no problem. I already talked to Heather, I talked to Veronica. I have to give them access to the bank account. We only have one bank account, so that's good with First Source. I can give them all the statements they need for the last however many years they want it all online. They can take all of that with them, they can do it remotely, and they can also come into the office. They're, like I said, Crow's the closest one, they're out of South Bend. So,
Did Michaeline say that we took some money from economic development for training?
Last year for because the training fund was depleted.
Yeah.
yes,
But this wouldn't be training, maybe the small part where they're gonna train her to keep it up, but the part of reconciling wouldn't be training.
Well, my only thought was if we could do like 20% and call it a training cost,
Right.
you know, it would help kind of justify some of those expenses.
Charlie, do you talk to Kate Chapins very often?
No, I don't.
He's-
Joanne brought.
there's
Her
still
up
stuff
earlier.
dated back from her that wasn't reconciled.
Dated back to Kay.
Hey, Casey, yes,
Not Casey, K.
Casey, K.
She said it could go
Yeah,
that far
I'm sorry,
back.
there's,
I'm just
there's
saying,
just a few things sitting there that are sitting in there.
Even if
That
we
date
did
back
move
that.
forward with this, what,
Joanne,
Spoke to Kate Chapins and she said she would be willing to come in and do the audit, the reconciliation. She said she is an ex-auditor. And she's had that position a couple of times, plus she was in the treasurer's office. And they brought her in the treasurer's office to straighten out some stuff a few years back. And she said she was not contacted, but she would be willing to come in and help do that. I don't know, you know, as far as money goes, that's between you guys and her. But she said the last time she had to do a reconciliation, she found a $900,000 error that got straightened out.
that's what it is. It's there, you know, it's just one of those things. It's just elusive.
know the council, Kelly, correct me, but I think the first council meeting, they said that they would find a way to get you
Absolutely.
the support that you needed, so.
It's,
You know, where they're gonna get it, I don't know, but it sounded like they were really, that they had made that commitment in January, I think it was the first meeting, yes.
Mandy.
One thing with having people come in, granted, they were previously employed here, but they are not currently. They do not have a bond and you're looking at a liability as well. Just
They're not
making
gonna-
it that, yeah.
Well, I believe she has to have a bond for trustee, does she not?
But it doesn't cover the county though.
Well,
It
it's not that big a deal to get a bond, you call the insurance agent.
it's $1,250,
That would be on.
How much?
$1,250 for a bond.
Well, the bond I got set up was only,
That's a $300,000 bond. That's state. That's what you need in the treasurer's office.
I brought up about the savings of money instead of putting out 16,000, so that's up to you guys.
I'm gonna be rude. You were gonna spend $15,000 to put a hole in the wall for a drop box. $12,475 would take care of books. And it'd be done and it would be right.
Well-
You know anybody from Marshall County, maybe?
I do, and that's where the one suggestion came in. No, it was actually a different gal.
Oh, a different one.
Yeah,
I don't know.
her name was actually Kelly too.
Is it?
Yeah,
And that was the one who said it couldn't do it.
Oh.
yeah.
Oh,
Because she's helping actually another county right now and she's retired, so
I know LaPorte County had Baker Tilly come in because they were 2 years behind. Other than loud over that.
well, this is Kelly's second or third time here. She clearly needs help. You know, if the council approves it and we approve it, we need to get things moving forward. Kelly's gonna be the treasurer for the next 4 years. If this also gives her training to move forward for 4 years, that's important too.
And it should give us a guarantee it won't be behind when you're done.
I'll give you the guarantee.
I would like to table it, but since she says it's gotta be done because tax time, I'm okay with going with this one, going on swap.
No.
12,475.
Is that your motion?
Yep.
I'd second that motion with adding council approval.
We had them.
I have to do it.
What are we taking out? Cap.
Which one did you
Yeah.
approve, Don? I can barely hear you.
Sorry.
Crow, sorry.
Wow. Up to 12,475.
Half of the band.
Cume cap, you think, Dave?
Yeah, I guess that'd be the best thing at this point.
Yeah.
Out of cume cap.
We guys, you guys need to do your thing, don't you?
We did.
We just
Okay,
did.
I just making sure, all right.
He didn't.
All in favor, aye.
Like, I'm watching Mortal Kombat.
There's a couple more things, just two real quick things. The payment drop box was replaced today. Rick and Randy did that.
Seen that.
Rick and Randy did that today. It looks great. And then, did we discuss again about the tax sale fee? You guys were asked
We
about
did
that?
on the
Okay,
meeting, but it wasn't on the agenda.
okay,
It
I was
did
just
come
asking, okay. Cause they asked about that at SRI.
It was on one agenda.
Was it?
Yeah,
I remember that, but I don't know.
I remember talking about it, but I don't
Something
know.
about $150.
Yeah.
we're charging now,
I'll raise it, I thought.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is what we charge
Was
now.
that tabled, Mike Lean, or do you remember?
No, you guys talked about it a little bit and then that was it.
wanted to find more.
Right, but there wasn't no motion or nothing on it, right?
No.
Well, what are you asking? Are you saying we need to raise it?
No, I mean, $150 what we charge now, so, and that covers costs. I did find that out. That does cover costs, so that would be fine to leave it.
so we just wanna make a motion to leave it at 150?
Yeah.
Now you're talking about tax sale or the commissioner sale?
Tax sale. fee.
Tax sale, okay.
Commissioners, that's different.
Mhm.
That's a different thing.
Yeah.
Or you guys wanna table it and think about it?
You know, as long as we're covering our costs, that's
Yeah.
why we didn't do nothing that first meeting.
We're covering cost, I have, that's all right.
So
Yes, Julie.
we're gonna leave it the same as what it's been historically, and you're confident that was 150?
Yes, confident.
And we can change that each year, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Let's make a motion on that. If it's the same, stay the same.
Well, we'll just make a motion to leave it the same.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
Say your motion.
yep,
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. And, fortification.
You guys wanted that table till this meeting, wanted to discuss it or look into it more. So that's why it's on the agenda.
I haven't had a chance to look into
I
it,
haven't
Me
either.
neither.
so you wanna roll it,
Yeah.
motion to table?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We got, couple things on this line. It's for the county planning commission. 3 appointments. For the planning commission, 2 Democrats, 1 Republican. Not in city limits or own property. Or. Yeah, not in city limits. Unless they own, they could be in the city if they own property outside of the city.
So I just want to point out how messy this has gotten
Yeah.
over the last few weeks. There's a lot of people working on it. I still have some confusion on some of these appointments. But I know there's 1 Republican seat open. And for sure, and they need to live outside city limits, and that qualification's been met. They come to every meeting and they applied clear back in November. I'd make a motion for Roberta Lee to join the planning commission.
Motion, is there a second? I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Who seconded it? You?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
okay.
second.
Yeah, can you add that that would be to take the term for Todd Jackson?
Correct. So that will take Todd Jackson's seat. And Mary, correct me here, but where does that leave us with the BZA right now? Because Roberta is on the BZA.
So. As of right now, I need a commissioner appointment for the BZA. However, we're kind of in limbo with one of the other members on the BZA. So if you were to appoint somebody, it could end up picking that person off of the BZA then. So
And Roberta's seat can't fill both, is that correct?
it could,
It can?
yeah, but
Is it, are we talking the trustee spot?
yeah.
Is that even allowed on there since that's elected and
So I CC'd you on the email to the State Board of Accounts and not answered me yet. I'm about 90% sure he cannot, as a, these are a mess, right? So solution moving forward, and Mary and I have talked about this because I like to start with the solution, is I think we probably need some type of form when these people apply, you know, and they designate any conflicts, any other position they have, because dual office holding is not just for elected positions. You could also dual office hold having an appointed position that's not even a paid position. And a lot of people don't realize that.
We
So,
also, like,
yeah,
another thing we were talking about is like, there needs to be a disclosure on there stating that like, if they, you know, during their term on one of these boards, run for like a public office or change party affiliation, that they need to notify the
Yeah.
office.
ultimately the responsibility is on the candidate, right? When they get appointed, they should, I mean, I realize that you're asking sometimes lay people that don't understand the law, you know, not to put anybody down or disparage anybody, but they don't really understand that if they hold an appointed position, they think, well, I can run for an elected position because I'm a part of an appointed position. That's just not how it works in a lot of cases. And it's muddy at best. And, you know, a lot of the people that we get for appointments, not to put anybody down at the time when they appointed those individuals, but you may not know them, you may not know what their conflicts are. The person in my seat a year, 2 years, 3 years from now certainly is not going to know who your local people are, what positions they hold. So I think again, some type of form that they can fill out, so we're as informed as possible is probably a good idea. So sorry, all that to say, I think that probably moving forward is probably a good idea.
An address, because
Yeah,
that's really
absolutely.
where you gotta let us,
yeah.
you know, whether they live in a town or own land outside of town.
Area, yeah. Yep.
If they move.
Because we've had some wonderful applicants here. I mean, all good people,
Mhm.
but it really comes down to where do they live and what boards do they sit on? And we're trying to fish through some of that information and it makes it complicated.
Who made it, who could they be employed by? You know, there's people sitting on some of these boards that can
Mhm.
create a conflict for themselves and they don't even realize it. So it's important that we have all this information. You don't know all these people. I certainly don't know all these people, you know, as they put in. It might be easiest for us, like right now, you pull up the statute and go, all right, does this person fit within this particular area? So I know your question was about a specific appointment, but can you remind me what, sorry, Mike, I think you asked me one question. I gave you the answer to a whole different question.
Actually, I think Carly asked the question.
About the trustee on the BZA.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure, and I emailed the State Board of Accounts, that, so the trustee can serve on your planning commission because statutorily, under the portion that talks about the planning commission, it says a trustee can be appointed. Now, what we were doing was that trustee was also serving on the BZA because we thought it was okay because it was required that one of your planning commission members in that spot, not in the trustee spot, but in a spot also serve on the BZA. But if you look a little bit further down, it says a BZA position cannot, appointed person cannot hold another county or local position either. So even though he's okay to sit on your trustee, to sit on the planning commission because it allows for it, I don't think, and I'll get verification from the SBOA, that he could also serve dual roles. So yeah, that's kind of the answer to that question. I'm 90% certain. I just, like I told Mary today, I don't want to definitively tell somebody that, hey, you're off here until verification, but I'm pretty sure that's the case.
So going back to Roberta, does she need kicked off the BZA today? Or does that need to be determined today?
So she can serve, so amongst you, and let me bring up the statute, just so I don't get myself into trouble here.
She could be your pick,
For both?
because there's one citizen member that has a planning commission member that's also appointed to the BZA.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give you an IC site here. It's 36-7-4-902. Section A. There's two sections that talk about advisory boards. You are A because my understanding, you do not have a metropolitan planning commission here. Even though you have a city planning commission, it's not a metro. So look at section A. So where Roberta's could fit, if you want her to serve on both, there are 3 citizen members appointed by the executive, which is you. One of which must be a member of the plan commission. So if she serves on the plan commission, she could also be that one person out of those 3 appointments that serves on both. It's just that the other 2 on the BZA can't, neither of them can be a member of the planning commission. If that all makes sense.
So where does that fall with Mark then? Or is that still in the air?
That's in limbo
Okay,
until he hears back from the State Board of Accounts.
okay.
So we only got one spot on the planning commission.
Well, I think there's.
there's two.
Yeah.
We have to get
You need
Democrats.
two
to
more
win.
on the planning commission.
Two
Well-
Democrats and then we had one Republican, which,
There's 2 Democrat seats open.
yeah, so there's 2 Democrats.
So asking for the public, that didn't mean nothing.
I gave you all the letters at the last meeting.
I don't think we got any new Democrat applicants.
Now
I
I'm
think-
talking on Roberta's spot. You said the public, you want the public to send letters in,
Mhm.
so he did, and you
Correct.
guys didn't even talk about
Well, a lot of them were disqualified because of where they live.
No,
That was why I made the comment about we had
Determined
good
by-
people.
it. You guys are,
No, if you look at what he said is that they can't live in town and they can't sit on other boards.
Yeah.
where's Todd King?
I don't know if I looked that one up.
That's what I'm saying. That's why we don't get public to get on.
I may have looked it up, I just don't remember looking it up. But there was several, we had quite a few applicants.
So I think Tom applied, didn't he?
Yeah,
He's the Democrat. I make a motion to put Tom. Schultz.
He
but he
lives in
lives in
town.
the city.
oh yeah, he lives in the city limits.
Yeah.
That got so confusing.
We didn't know that before. I mean.
Right.
We didn't know the code.
That's the reason we lost one of the plan commission members this past week, because we found out that they lived in an incorporated area.
And did not own ground in an unincorporated
Correct.
area. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have to let the 2 people, Tom and what was the name of the other guy? That got appointed to the city planning commission,
Oh, Chase.
Chase.
Yeah.
We have to let the 2 of them know that they can't be on the city planning commission. Because they both live in the city limits, not in the 2-mile jurisdiction. And Justin found that that's it, you can't do it,
Unless they
there's no
own,
exception.
yeah, they either have to live in the unincorporated area or own ground wholly or partially in the unincorporated area. And I don't think the person you picked, I can't remember who that was. I don't think he qualified. Based on those 2. And I think they changed that in the last couple of years. That's
Yeah.
why there was some confusion because they didn't change that portion.
It's on the very block.
And we're gonna need to get forms or set something, because that's.
Yeah, the
That's
forms,
good.
I think, is a great idea because that would help looking
Can't be
up people
chasing
even.
Our tail the whole time.
Fill it out and you send your letter of intent with it.
I have a question. Is the city planning commission appointments by the commissioners, are they by political party?
Todd
Yes,
King.
1 Democrat, 1 Republican. They have to be within the 2-mile jurisdiction of the city limits. Yeah, they can't be in the city limits,
Do you know where she-
but they have to be within the 2-mile jurisdiction because the city planning commission covers outside. the
Okay.
2 miles.
I was.
2 miles north.
Okay.
I would.
Republican?
So do something with that, John.
So I've kind of lost track of where we're with the appointments. Mary, who else do you need? I know we can't appoint a Democrat to the BZA yet.
Democrat.
Which we
Planning commission.
Planning commission.
which we don't have any right now.
And we had a quick discussion about this. They can also be independents, right? As long as they're not of the
Yeah,
same,
they can be an independent.
yeah.
Yeah, but.
How do you prove that?
Prove that?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, what if they vote, I'm just asking, what if they voted this last primary Republican and the primary before that Democrat
It goes by what you voted last.
last? Okay. I was just wondering, you know? If that makes them independent. They voted both ways.
Whatever you're registered.
Yeah, but you can't register as an independent in Indiana, so how does that work?
Right.
Okay, well. Do we gotta do anything with the city appointments then?
So you'll have to.
On
Do
there.
we need to send Chase a letter saying that
Yeah,
due to address, he can't?
I'd vote to rescind that appointment at least.
Okay,
Well, both of them, Tom and Chase.
yeah, they both have to come off. So I'll make a motion to rescind Todd and Tom.
Chase and Tom.
Chase and Tom, sorry.
Second,
we have motion and a second, all those in favor? Aye.
Yeah, I do think we need to move forward with Justin's suggestion about
yeah,
where they live, specifically any other boards they might sit on. Because when we're running through all these names, it's a lot to take in as to what can be considered.
And I asked the city if it could be in the city limits if nobody else applied, and they said they thought so, because that's how it used to be, and then they got a hold of this new law
Mhm.
that said no, that's why it all.
Which is why we picked Chase the first one you guys did, because he lived in town. It made sense to put him on the city planning commission.
But since they govern out in the 2 mile jurisdiction, that's why the county appoints 2 people for the 2 mile jurisdiction. That's because their city planning commission is over that for some reason.
So right now, there's discussion on one of the people that's on the plan commission, whether or not they can sit on it. So that's why I was asking about that name.
Was there anything for the library board appointment? I don't.
Yeah, that, I sent you the 2 people, Amber somebody and Amber Reed, I think it was, or Ashley Reed. I sent it to you in an email, and I think I put it in your mailboxes a while back.
So, just to be clear, are you guys appointing Roberta to the VBA as your pick?
How would we do that? She's on there now, but.
So she would be your,
You have to make a motion.
Just have to motion for them.
yeah, you just
So
make a
she's
motion,
currently on there, but I need to know if that's what you guys are gonna do, as your pick.
maybe include in your
And then
motion.
we'd still have another open seat then.
Yeah,
On the BZA.
that's part of your
Or they have a
motion.
council
Mhm.
seat that's open.
That she be your one citizen member
Yeah.
appointed to the BZA, the planning commission.
That's not on the planning commission. That you would appoint.
Maybe with those people,
Don, would this name here be interested in sitting on BZA?
the residents doesn't
No.
matter for the BZA either, right?
nothing, that's just,
Well, I'm just thinking with all the names that are moving around, it
I could let her ask him.
might be opportunity, you know? So we need to make a motion for Roberta to fill the role of both BZA and Plan Commission. Okay, I'll make that motion.
Second. Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Hey,
One opposed. You
So
recall,
do we need to advertise again?
yeah,
no way it
Yeah.
would be.
Yeah, with more specifics.
yeah,
Yeah.
what it requires, and I mean, we already, I mean, we could put the code even along with it, so.
Something, yeah.
Anything
It's
to help.
confusing.
I can get Mary a form. I can just do up a new form for you guys and that way.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, I found the letters for in the appointment file here. It was Ashley Reed and Rebecca, where'd her name go? It just says Rebecca's letter, but I'm sure her signature was on here somewhere. Oh, Despot, Rebecca Despot.
I'm not familiar with either of them.
I mean,
She was the principal. Yes.
You wanna ask the public if anybody can vouch for them?
I knew Ashley Reed for a long time. She worked at the library for quite a few years, managed the front desk. She always had the library's best interests at heart.
Rebecca Despot has worked at the elementary school in the capacity as principal, vice principal, and I think she is currently teaching that at the elementary school in Knox.
Rebecca sounds very qualified. I'll make a motion to appoint Rebecca to the library board.
Second.
We had a motion and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Reed, does anybody know her? Yeah. Stan?
Yeah, she worked at the library for quite a few years, managing the front desk.
Do we need 2 spots?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'll make that motion.
Okay, we had a motion.
Well, they need 2 spots in the library?
I thought-
Was it 2 or 1?
No, it's just one.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
No,
First, we can't get enough, now we're putting too many.
Yeah, you already appointed, Joan Bailey, I think it was,
Joanne.
Joanne.
What?
You were already appointed to the library
Yeah.
board.
Communicating.
Oh, sorry. Then we got the payroll time clock,
Charlie,
and Marshall.
going back to the appointments, I did submit a letter for planning commission.
Right,
Would I have to reapply through letter and this form, the BZA?
yeah, if we,
Hey, if that's where we're moving.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay, I just want to make sure. Okay.
yeah, if we get that form out soon enough here. then that's what we'll use, so.
Okay, all right.
Are we gonna make that available through the planning commission or through the auditor or?
Make it available to both. that way.
Yeah. Right. Then, Stan, I guess with this time clock here, in April, you're here about it.
It's my fault, they dry out for you to be here. So you could-
Would you
don't like
dismiss me?
to- Yes. Now, Stan, before you start, did you put in there that it's gonna cost us now or no?
It costs us because of other licensing that we would require, yes.
So it was gonna cost us either way.
Yeah.
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah. But it's two different, we're from two different spectrums. So the program is gonna cost us either way. So the sheriff's department, we're paying. You guys, the county put up the initial like setup fees and everything for us to start with the sheriff's department. And then we budgeted in to pay for, pay for the program every year. So, but we have offsite hosting, which I don't know all that tech stuff, so that's what he's here for. But that's a different cost, so. Ultimately, I'll tell you about the time clock system. We got it because our old system, the one that they were using when I started, it kept track of, obviously clocking in and out. It kept track of PTO time terribly. Everything was, all the PTO time was messed up, which is the biggest problem that we were having with it. So we were using the paper service records, doing PTO time on there, got it out of the time clock system, found this one after we were looking through some. Talked to some different counties. The initial setup, the initial building, it's a total nightmare. That being said, right now, it's fantastic, and I talked to Suzanne today. Payroll is really, really simple. She said, even now now that we're there, but it keeps track of the time, obviously, it keeps track of everybody's PTO time. It does, the service records that we have to manually do normally. It keeps track of all of that in there. Any vacation forms, sick forms, bereavement, all of that is built into the program. It's built with the county handbook and the different policies. So like the sheriff's department's got the merit book and everything so all that's built, it's built for each department individually. So it kind of keeps track of all that. They're working on like location mapping. So like if I sit here and I clock in on my phone, it shows you that I'm in this building clocking in. That being said, it's a little weird on computers. I clock in from my computer at work and it shows you that I'm in the parking lot across the street from 1056. So because it doesn't have GPS. I mean, I'm across the street, okay? But, you know, your computers don't have GPS, so that's a little, it's better than nothing, but that's where we're at with that, so, we like it, it's cut my payroll time down a bunch. It's a little more accountability, because like if Stanley were to clock in and, you know, mess up something, he has to put a note in, a supervisor has to approve that. If I mess up, I have to put a note in, a supervisor has to approve it, so you can't, you know, I mean, there's no just go in and change times around kind of thing, so. We like it, it's expensive. We pay, I paid, well, not I, but $9,300 for the year. But for the amount of time that it's saving, for the paper that it's saving, I mean, we really have liked it, so.
And that comes out of your budget.
Yeah, we put it into our budget when we did our budget workshop last year, so. Your turn.
And while we have the ability now with the new hardware that we have, the additional Microsoft licensing that we would need to run it would cost us $10,000 right off the bat, and then there's an additional $1,500 installation fee charged by the software company to install it on our servers. So overall, you're looking at over, I scaled it at a 7-year range, because that's probably when you'd have to redo all of that for a new operating system, new servers, new hardware and everything. And 7-year range cost for us would be $11,080, and cost per month at their current rate is $10,500.
So say if we did the ambulance, what would it cost him just, you know, to do his department?
So for the sheriff's department right now, we're paying $75 a month. We pay $775 a month total, and it's $700 for the program, it's $75 a month for the hosting stuff, so. I did give Jim the information a while back, I don't know, he was gonna call, he was gonna reach out to them and talk to them, I don't know if he did. See what he said he did.
Did you
Yeah.
look into that, Jim? Would that be something you?
We have a demo set up. What's our? So we get the demo set up, it's definitely something that very interesting. I've talked to April about it numerous times. I like the whole concept of the way the program is. And it would fit right in with the ambulances with the GPS.
And that's something you can put in your budget starting next year or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And I did tell him if he wanted to come see it, I mean, obviously, I don't wanna broadcast it for everybody, cause all our employees and everything in there, but I did tell Jim if he wanted to come see it, or. If any of the other department heads wanted to come and see it, they're welcome to, but, so I did reach out and I got this quote for you guys. Ultimately, I mean, I can just put you in touch with the people, but, we like it, and I think it saves us, I know it saves us a ton of time. And I like the accountability behind it, so.
Yeah.
So if we made it countywide, it wouldn't have to come out of department budgets, would it?
Each year it probably would. Really, because it's costing you $9,500 a year.
93, I just paid the bill for 9,300 for this year. When we, you know, brought it to them to get approved, it was, the county paid for the initial setup. And then we're putting it on our budget to pay for the annual subscription fee, so.
So Jim's department would probably be about the same then.
Yeah, that's up to, yeah, I mean, that's up to.
Probably they said around 9,000.
I don't know about that
Yeah.
part, that's
Okay.
outside of my area.
Yeah,
Here, we
Which
could
we
put
can't
that
do,
in.
we all got that email from the judge, we can't do.
Yeah, I saw that.
Right, I don't know what we want, they wouldn't let Jim look into it, make sure that
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
I'm making most of the table.
Second.
And a motion and a second to table.
I'll look more into it, and I'll have Jim get with April.
Okay.
Thanks for
you're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Put your chair.
Then, Rachel.
Okay, so I'm here for to have you guys sign the contract for CCMG 2024-2. Everything's been, already approved, and you guys selected the contractor, and this is just, the contract had to be on Attorney Schramm's letterhead for index.
I thought we signed that electronic.
You did, but they still had,
Yeah, we did.
you did, but they still had, Lori down as treasurer,
Oh,
so I had to get it corrected again.
gotcha.
And of course, Mark was a first mistake.
Well, we caught that one a while back.
But we are hauling in material, so I'm hauling in 10,000 tons of 11s right now. Actually, I'm not hauling in, I'm having higher hauled in.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
We're gonna have to have procedures for you guys signing stuff. I'm telling you what.
What we do now.
Oh, you signed on the date.
Oh,
I feel like we all signed on the day one time.
yeah.
I don't know if you wanna just try to date it there and. Oh, this goes with it.
It goes for 5.
There's a spot for you to date it there, Charlie.
This side.
I was making it do it right. Yeah. We never dated, always get the auditor.
Likes the signature, please.
Well, you got Don here just signing in random places. Keep an eye on him.
Thank you.
Get you a scanned copy of that, Mike.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Okay, so last Thursday, P27, we were notified by NDOT that basically they have less funds than what they projected, and this would be for the NOFA call that we applied for, bridge number 13, which is on 600 East. On 600. No, 600 East or 600 North over the Robbins. It's one of our deficient bridges. If we were to get this NOFA call, like we were to get the funding for it, it's 80-20 grant. It would not happen until 2030, the reconstruction of the bridge. Hopefully the bridge can last that long, but that bridge is pretty rough shape right now. Anyways.
Is there any inspections that are done on that
Yes,
bridge?
yearly. So because it's a deficient bridge, it gets inspected yearly. It does not have a low rating yet. But I expect that maybe next year or the year after. But yes, it gets inspected yearly. It's one of our last deficient bridges. We only have 2 left that are deficient in Stark County, which is actually really good. Anyways, the NDOT is wanting us to pay up to $415,000 for the project engineer. Right now, we're allotted to pay 20% of that. But they want to know, they say this isn't going to deter them from whether or not they're going to give us the funding, which I don't necessarily believe that. But I had talked to some of the council members, and they're going to be possibly having a special meeting depending on what you say. My suggestion would be to put in 50% of the $415,000 and budget it in Hume Bridge for 2029, 2030, whenever that bridge is constructed. We're not really asking for money. We're just asking
Right.
for permission to get out of Hume Bridge and accept the 50% towards project engineer rather than 20%.
I thought we were gonna do something with the engineer on the bridge and stuff.
The project engineer it would help us if we had an engineer for Stark County.
Right.
But that's a whole adventure in itself, trying to get that here. The state actually pays $40,000 toward each county that has a engineer on staff. But you're also, you have to think that $40,000 plus whatever else to actually hire an engineer. That's gonna be a payroll item of over $100,000, but it would benefit us.
Right.
But yeah, the project engineer, if we had an engineer on staff, they might be able to do this work.
That's right.
But right, as of right now, we don't. So this had to be hired out through United Consultants.
Okay.
We used to, right?
Oh, we had a bridge construction inspector, which is what I am too,
Yeah.
but we never had an engineer.
Okay, so.
We still hired out the engineer. It was still cheaper the way Rick was doing it.
Yeah.
And you said the council is discussing having a special session on this
Yes.
project?
Depending on what you guys decide.
Well, I guess I kind of think maybe we should try to do a special session with the council and us to try to hash this out.
Yeah.
And we do have to let them know by March 12th. So it's not something that you do have to say, yeah, we're gonna put in extra. They're just wondering if our county would be willing to put in any more than the 20%. Toward the project, the project engineer only. Which is a total of about $415,000.
Well, you want
An hour and a half would be too long.
to see if Michaeline can put some kind of a quick meeting together for,
I believe they said possibly this Thursday or Friday. For a
Thursday
special
or
session
Friday, that would have to be.
this week.
Posted tomorrow.
Mhm. If it's Thursday, yeah.
and the date hadn't been set for that yet, right?
No. No, it's kind of depending on what you guys are agreeing to, not agreeing to, or if you want to discuss further with them.
Well, we have one council member here.
You have to have 4.
Well, I know that. Do you think we could put together a joint session to hash this
Yeah,
out?
I just happened to be there because I was meeting for EMA today, there, and I saw this too, and I guess, 2 of the other council members have already talked to Rachel about it, so it sounds like it's doable.
So you want Thursday or Friday?
I would say get hold Todd.
Yeah.
You say it's money's doable, Dave, or the meeting?
I sound like the meeting's doable for the other
Okay,
2
yeah.
that we're discussing. I was out of the discussion actually, but it
Okay.
sounds doable. I mean, I don't want to
Yeah,
break
I'm-
Rachel's heart and remind her that we did say we were gonna try to lower Cuban Bridge at some point.
I mean, if we're talking about a finance difference, it's gonna have to go
Yeah.
back and forth if we can get it resolved
Cause
in
if
one
we
meeting.
wait, then we'll probably won't make
Yeah.
the headline. Yeah, you're right.
Do you guys want Thursday or Friday?
My
Maybe when I
preference is
call.
Friday afternoons, but
You prefer Friday afternoon?
I can make it work
I
with.
know Friday afternoon, I might have something going on. So.
You all right when the 2 of us show up?
Yeah,
I
if you guys can handle it.
Okay.
may not be able to Friday after 2:30. To show up for a meeting.
You wanna put the options out in the email and then just try to put it together? Cause I'd prefer Rachel be there.
What's your other option?
Anytime. I just got a family thing going Friday 2:30.
Just not Friday afternoon?
Yeah, just not Friday afternoon. Friday at 1 o'clock is fine.
It's fine for me too. So table this until we can maybe get a joint session together.
Yeah.
Okay, motion to table this.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any other questions, comments, concerns?
No.
All right, thank you, gentlemen.
Got the vendor claims in the amount of $332,729.70. Had a motion.
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor? Okay.
Aye. No. You never know.
For motion to approve the payroll claims in the amount of $333,376.25.
So moved.
Second.
And a motion and a second, all those in favor?
Aye. Will say there is a payroll discrepancy that was brought to my attention last week. If you guys got a quick minute, I'd like the person here to mention it.
Sure. Yeah, 'cause we might not wanna.
Mary, you mentioned that there could be a discrepancy with one of the gals as far as where their pay stopped and started.
Right. I asked to be on the meeting for the 17th.
Okay,
So you okay tonight?
Huh?
You okay?
Yeah, it's nothing that needs.
it's really the end of the year is where it's
the end
gonna,
of the year that is gonna be a problem. Did you want me to discuss it with you today or?
I just thought it was for this one.
no, that it's for the whole
It
year, so
don't
we
make
can
me no
wait, yeah.
difference.
We could wait till the next
Yeah.
meeting.
If you're already on the agenda.
Right.
Thank you.
Their motion of minutes from February 18th.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We had a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Only thing with Justin gone now is the squad cars. I talked to Tony. Wow, if he does. He said the guy should be sending us, should have sent us a ticket that, we're gonna start charging the store. He said all that, just, it wasn't done, and we might wanna look into it. So I'll call, since Justin already had to leave, I'll send him an email and see.
Okay.
I don't know the rule on that, but Tony said we should have got something from that guy years ago,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that might help. That's all I got.
Well, it's just a headache because it
Yeah.
was allegedly a handshake, basically.
Exactly.
Makes it
And he
tough.
told me that. Yeah.
Right.
Mike, you got anything?
No, sir.
Anyone else have anything for us?
Dave?
Okay. My clerk Christie, this is our clerk treasurer in Hamlet, as you guys know, I'm the town board president as well. We've got this parcel, we've got a developer that is step forward to purchase this parcel and has requested to ask us to annex into the town Hamlet. That is currently agriculture, we're gonna rezone that to R1. He's looking to build 19 homes, 18 homes, a street and a park with a dog park in it. And what we are asking you guys to do at this point right now, we're in the process of, we have to have our public hearings and so on and so forth to allow the public to vent or have any concern to come forward, but we've already agreed to annex it. The part we're gonna ask you guys for is this parcel is roughly 750 feet wide, 550 north on the northeast end of town. We were asking, instead of 750 feet, we were gonna ask you guys for 1,000 to be turned over to the town Hamlet and added to our road inventory. So it's basically a transfer from your guys' inventory to ours. Effective whenever you guys wanna, if you guys wanna mull that over and give it to us at a later date. We would take possession of it immediately, maintain it, plow it, potholes, fix it, and then when the new construction is all in, we'll use CCMG. We have an advantage with CCMG to do probably paving when the construction is complete, because we figure with all the excavating and all the stuff that's going on, NIPSCO is going to tear up because there is a gas line that is there. We do want to provide water, sewer, and other engineering items that the engineers still are drawing the capacities and what they're going to need, elevations to in terms of what he's going to need to get to the lift stations and stuff for sewer and water. There are already town fire hydrants that service this property with the west end of town and they are all up to NFPA standards already.
So this part you got outlined, Dave, is that what?
This parcel is the parcel that the investor purchased, the builder.
I mean, what the spot you want us to trade you, give you, whatever.
Basically, probably from basically this end right here, which is the east end of town.
Okay.
I believe we come over a little bit, probably, I think 30 feet into that. We want to go 1,000 feet from that 30, probably to go right past this line right here. extra 250 feet with the width of that as a buffer zone, and we'll, like I said, we'll maintain that, and we will plow it, we will fix the potholes, and we will repave the whole entire thing when the project is complete.
Any idea when this might start?
Immediately, he wants to do it to start, we want to start construction probably as soon as the spring.
So 2025.
2025. There is that, I can't give you guys all the details. I know this is gonna be squared off. The top part is gonna be a park. There is going to be some kind of a roundabout, L-shaped way to get to there's gonna be houses that face 550 to the south, and then there'll be homes that face towards the park. And there's, like I said, it's gonna be a pavilion, a dog park, or a dog park with a dog run. It's gonna be fenced. It's gonna be protected from the railroad, which is directly to the north. And we are very excited about that. When we got this investor and this one goes, okay, we have another one that's talking of another parcel.
Well, I wouldn't be prepared to make any decisions today, but it's an interesting
Yeah.
project.
Yeah,
So definitely keeping things going.
Yeah.
Could you give us the next meeting?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna drive out
Yeah.
there. I can't get my head around. I think I know where you're talking about, but I just like. well,
This is Jefferson Street right here that jogs up to where we have the second set of railroad tracks. And then this is basically Railroad Street heading towards the Legion, and this is heading towards the cell phone tower, Tommy Lawrence's and that out that way.
You have any, go ahead, sorry.
Go ahead.
Do you have any idea what type of houses they're projecting? We're talking.
Single family, mid-range, they said that, he says the goal, the builder told us he wanted to keep it like 55 and older. And I said, you really can't exclude people because of fair housing and mortgages and stuff. He says, yeah, you're right, but the target is he wants to do affordable homes. A lot of them will not come with garages as stock. Garages are extra. He wants to build a lot of these to spec in terms of, hey, if you like this house, you like that house. He wants to kind of give people, it's a hard market to sell. People want something that's already built. They can just walk in. A lot of less vision. So
stick-built houses. right?
Stick-built houses
Okay.
on foundations, not any
Okay.
kind of slabs or anything like that. It's all. And he's already purchased several of our other available lots on Jefferson Street. All the lots in Jefferson. We have no lots in town after this. We're done. We did a 22 by 22 where we waived all the building fees or the permit fees. And it exploded and all of our lots sold. We waived the building permit fees. All of our sewer connections and water connections are at cost. The other additional thing we are doing is they get like a free 6 months worth of garbage, water and recycling. As part of our 20 by 22, we extended that. We're gonna extend that into this project as well. Now, when we get, the next guy comes up with the bigger amount of houses, I don't know if I'm gonna do the 6 months of free water or sewer or whatever, but certainly we will give them some kind of incentive as well to do this.
You don't mind, Dave. Show me one more time on here what you want us to do.
Probably, we want 1,000 feet instead of this lot right here, 750 wide. We want an extra 250 just to make it an even 1,000 and.
Okay.
I don't know,
This road.
and that's 550, yeah.
We had to have, I don't know if Rachel would, have you talked to Rachel?
No, but I know she would have it on the inventory.
Yeah.
We did that with the other little
Yeah.
stretch by family, our Dollar General, and it's not that big a deal. It's just
Yeah, that's how it's.
It's just a matter of her, she's got a description on her inventory. She just transfers that inventory over to her.
Yeah.
And we send it down to NDOT and it gets put on the inventory and it's a done deal. It now becomes ours and somebody calls and says, there's a big pile, call town. And we're willing to do it at this point now, even before it's annexed. So, I mean, it's not that big of a deal.
Right. Okay.
Because I already know.
I like table till next meeting.
Right. That's totally fine. But I do know that there is a natural gas line and that we'll have to cut the road. And it would be, that's kind of why we wanted to do it. That's why it's just better just to ask them. We don't have a problem paying for the road. All right, that's all we got. You guys got any other questions?
Second that or anything?
Do we need to have a
You had a
motion?
motion?
Yeah. Just
Motion,
table it till next.
Yeah.
motion and a second, all those in favor, aye.
Thank you guys.
Thanks.
Anyone else? Have any reports? Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
She was, oh, pretty emotional. Going now.
Yeah.
Want to make one statement, I didn't want to do it. So anybody, Charlie, hold 1 second. The reason I